Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my afternoon tea time and a card. I'm going to give you guys a little giggle. I'm just a few minutes late because I couldn't find my phone. I've been cutting designer paper shares all day and my phone was buried, so it took me a couple minutes to get situated. Hello everyone, I can see you all jumping on. So while everybody jumps on, I just wanted to let you know I received my new basic white cardstock. I just wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera. So now that we no longer have the Whisper White because the company went out of business, we now have basic white. And as you can see, I think you can see there's a little bit of a tint difference. This is our new basic white. It's actually a little bit brighter than the Whisper White. So I haven't used it yet. I just dug it out of my package and it feels similar. It feels smooth like our Whisper White. So I'm anxious to try it out. I'm going to try it out in the next couple of days and I'll report back to you guys. Another exciting thing that arrived, and I played with it already, starting on February 2nd for customers. Now demonstrators, we were able to start ordering last week. So you guys remember this stamp set from Celebration a couple years ago? Well, Stampin' Up is bringing it back, and it's bringing it back along with some dies. And look at these cute little dies. There's a little cornstalk. There's a little happy birthday die. Wait, I think that goes in my other one. I have another one to show you. And then we have the little chicken coop. And I love this one. So let me show you what else is coming. So this is going to be available. You can buy just the dies if you still have your stamp set. If you sold it like I did, I had to buy it again. You can buy this as a bundle. Now, not only this one, they also have the Hey Birthday Chick. And it's kind of the same chickens, but they're doing something different. They're either dancing around or a cupcake. This is all birthday related. And we have dies for that one also. And I think that's where my little birthday one goes in here. I played with both yesterday. Now, this one has a little cute little fence. I'm going to show you on a card that I did. Some little birthday streamers and just some other odds and ends. And then of course you can cut out all of the images. So look how cute both of these are. And I am actually on a team of demonstrators where we are all creating one project, and everyone that orders this from us, we're going to send to our customers. So if you order one of these sets from me, or if you're on my team, I'll be sending you a free project sheets. I don't know how many yet because everybody's signing up. But I just wanted to show you the card that I made for the free project sheets. Look how cute. This is the little cornstalk I was showing you. And then look at the little streamers on the fence. And then I colored everything with stamping blends. And then I used my new blending brushes just around the edges a little bit. Some green, some pear pizzazz down here, and some seaside spray around the edges. And then I added some clear Wink of Stella on the balloon so they're nice and shimmery. So anyway, this is going to be available to customers on February 2nd. So look for that soon. Okay, let's get started for today. So today I'm going to bring you a Christmas card that I received from a Canadian friend of mine. Her name is Jane Carlisle, and I told her I was going to be using this card to show you guys what she did that was special about her card. So she had sent me a pocket card for Christmas, and you can see that this piece comes out. But she was telling me when I asked her about this card that her customers wanted a way for this card to stand up because it's a pocket card. Of course, it's flat. So if you turn it around on the back side, we have a little easel. It's glued to one side. And then your card can stand up if you want to display it. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is the pocket card with a little twist to it by adding the easel on the back. Let me bring in all of the products I'm using. So today I'm using the Paper Bloom Celebration paper. So you can earn this package of paper for free using placing a $50 order. I'm going to be using this sheet right here. I'm using Rococo Rose, and I forget my measurement. I think it's 11 by 5.5. I have a piece of Seaside Spray that measures 4 by 1 3/4. And then for my pocket on the inside, I have another piece of Rococo Rose, 4 inches by 4.5. I'm going to add all these measurements afterwards on the post also. Basic white, 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. So this will be the part that goes on the inside. And then I have a piece of the designer paper. I'm actually going to use, let me see, I got to decide which, I'm not sure which side I'm using yet. But this is 5 1/4 by 4. I've gone ahead and pre-cut everything just so you wouldn't have to watch me measure and cut. Now this is a piece of designer paper that I've cut. And I believe that's 5 1/4 by 4. Actually it's 4 by 5. And I just cut it in half diagonally. And then I'm going to flip it over and use both sides. And then to create the easel, I'm going to bring the card in that I'm going to be making. I actually have a piece left over, and that you're going to do the same thing that I did with the designer paper, 5 by 4, and you're going to cut it diagonal, so you got 2 pieces. Now I used one on the card that I made for you, and this is the card I'm going to be creating. And then there's my little pull-out section. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, I am also using the Happy Thoughts stamp set, which is in our new mini catalog, along with the stitched whimsy dies. Now, the stitched whimsy dies I used on the inside. You can see the stitching on my white. All that does is press down into the cardstock and do the stitch lines for you. And the one I'm using is this number 2 of the little rectangles. Now, if you take both of these, the Happy Thoughts stamp set that I just showed you, along with the whimsy dies, it's exactly $50. And then you can turn around and earn this pack of designer paper for free. So everything I'm using today, you'll be able to purchase 2 items and get the 3rd one for free. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go in, start out actually by bringing my die cutting machine in, only because I want to use the whimsy die to do the stitching and get that out of the way. It's going to be with the, oh, I got to get the right pads. Hold on. Okay, so I'm using the platform number 1 along with the 2 clear cutting plates. Now, because my white piece is a little shorter than the die itself, I'm just going to position it and watch the 3 sides. That just sits right on top. Oh, so wait a minute, I got a piece missing. I have my die piece missing. I'm going to see if I can run this through my little one. I'm not sure if it fits. Hold on. Nope. I am not prepared with my machine. Okay, I don't even know where my other plate is. I'm just going to see if I can sneak this through. I'm not sure if it's wide enough. I think it is. Oh, look, it is. Ooh. I apologize for that. I was using my machine for something else, and I don't even know where I put the other plate that I need. Okay, so let's regroup with the mini machine. And I'm going to show you how that's just going to press right into the cardstock. So look how easy that was, and you have some stitched lines right in there. Okay, now let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do the insert first. And the inks that I'm using today, let me just bring my card back in, is the Night of Navy. I'm actually going to stamp the Thinking of You at the bottom. I don't even have my stickers on my stamp set yet. So hopefully I can do this straight. I can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, there's my Thinking of You. And then what I did here is I used the designer paper and I just cut out a flower from it. So I'm actually going to cut out this little green one right here, Old Olive. So you'll see all of the flowers that I'm using today, I hand cut right from the designer paper, just to make it quick and easy. Yes, I'm fussy cutting. Only because these flowers are so pretty and we don't have dies to cut them, so I got to do it by hand. And then I'm going to glue that right to the top. And I'm going to leave the rest of it blank in case someone wanted to write a little message. Okay, that's going to go there. Now I'm going to glue the white piece to the Rococo Rose piece. And I'll do the ribbon in a little bit. So there's my first piece. Now I'm going to move on to the pocket portion. I'm going to bring in my scoring tool. Now, because I don't have 12-inch paper, I don't buy 12-inch cardstock because I don't use it. I just use 11 inches, so that won't be enough to fold over. But we're still going to have enough because what I did is I went 4 1/4, which is your normal card fold for a regular card, and 8 1/2. And then once we fold this over, this will be enough. It ends about right here that you can't even tell that it doesn't crisscross all the way down. Okay, so now I'm going to fold this on the score line on both. Here is my paper trimmer. So what I'm going to do is on this side here, this is the larger scored end. I'm going to score from the top to the bottom diagonally. Okay, so there's my first one. And then I know that this is going to be hidden. So what I'm going to do is actually just bring this in. I'm going to put this right here. I'm actually going to do that on the inside. And I'm going to trace a line. And I'm going to cut that off. So you can see that I can do this without having a 12-inch piece of cardstock. See, nobody can tell it's going to end right there because it's going to be covered. Hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and add some adhesive. And before I glue it in place, I'm actually going to add, now I need to decide which side I want to use. I'm going to bring in my diagonals. I think, yeah, that's going to be too busy. So I'm going to stick with the green side like I did on this one. Even though this is so pretty. So that's going to go on the inside. Now we can bring the flaps over and glue them in place. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm not doing good today, you guys. You're going to have to fire me. I forgot to add the tear and tape at the bottom to create my pocket. I should have done that first because we need that on the bottom so that the pocket portion doesn't fall out. Let's try that again. Okay, now I have the pocket for this piece to go in. Now this is where I cut my designer paper in half. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to have two pieces there. I'm actually going to glue them opposite patterns to what I did on the first one. So there's my first one. So you can see that the pocket card is really easy to create. Okay, so there's my 3 pieces of designer paper, all from the same paper pack. Now we're going to stamp the larger sentiment on the Seaside Spray piece. I just want to make sure this is not upside down. I need to take the time to stamp the, to add my stickers to the back of my stamps. There's that. Look how pretty that font is. So now what I need to do is actually cut a few flowers. So you're going to get to watch me do that. Now the great thing about the flowers that I use, it doesn't matter if they're cut off because you can piece them along the edge of the Seaside Spray layer and the designer paper layer as you glue them in place. So I just need to cut a few of these. I didn't cut them ahead of time. I have actually been busy cutting out designer paper shares today. So for those of you that got designer paper shares from me, I hope to have them out in the mail by Friday. I've been cutting for 2 days now. And I have them almost all cut out. And I just need to put labels on the packages tomorrow and send them out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place now that the ink is dry. I didn't want to smudge it. And this is going to go right almost at the top where the little V stands. So here's where I have that part that was cut off. I'm going to see where I can fit it best, but I'm going to have to cut it smaller, I think. I think right here would be good. So let me bring my trimmer in. And I'm actually going to have to trim that leaf off, even though I was trying to keep it. I might be able to use that on the other end. Okay, so that's going to fit right here. I love the flowers on this paper pack. Okay, there's one. So let me see if I can. I'm going to grab this one. And again, the bottom is already cut off. But I want to try to use it because other than that, I wouldn't be able to use it on a card. Let's see. I'm going to tuck that one underneath only because it's cut off there also. Let me see. I'm going to get my paper piercer in here. Tuck that in. See, look how good that looks. I'm going to do one more that I have on this sheet. Let's see if I can keep this one the way it is. I might end up having to cut a flat piece off of it. I glued this one with dimensional, so I want to try to do the same thing on this one. And then we'll add the little easel portion on the back, which is very, very easy. Okay, I'm going to sneak this one in. I'm going to put that right there. And let's see. That one is still a little too big. Unless I stick it. I don't like the way that looks. Okay, I'm going to chop off one of these petals because I really want to glue one on with dimensionals. I really want one to pop. So I'm going to add this one right there. So there's my flower. So the whole card front is done. Now I need to grab a hole punch to do the ribbon. So hold on. And the ribbon I'm using today is the metallic ribbon, which is Blushing Bride. And what's neat about this ribbon, it has the little satiny finish on the front. And if you flip it over, it's got a little glittery finish. So all I'm going to do is add a hole with my hole punch. Oh, I didn't grab the right one. Right in the center, about 1/2 inch from the top. And then I'm going to thread the ribbon through. Oh, Maggie's saying yes, it's a great way to use up scraps of paper. It really is. If you have paper that has flowers like that on it, you can just use the edges that are cut off. Now I'm going to do a bow. And what I try to do with this ribbon, I want the glitter on the outside. So I'm just going to wrap this around, and I'm going to have to play with the loops to make sure that the glitter is showing. And I'm going to have to flip the tail over. Okay. Now let me make my loops a little smaller. And in pulling, I should be able to make sure that the glitter, see, you can see the glitter side is out and showing on all sides. The only part that's not glittered is the knot. Okay, so there's my little insert. So let me put this one back in. And we've got this one. And all we have left to do is the little easel part. So again, if you have a cute little card and you'd like it to stand up, this is the best way to do it. And all I'm going to do is use the longest side of my little triangle that I cut. I'm going to score it 1/2 inch. I'm going to fold that over. And then all we need to do, now we can put it on this side if you want. I'm going to do an opposite side this time. And I'm going to use my tear and tape only because there's a lot of movement. I want it to stay on there nice and neat. And I'm putting it about 1/4 inch from the bottom and 1/4 inch from the side. So there's my little easel. And this is how my card stands up. Isn't that neat? And then here's what the card looks like. And let me take the little insert out of this one so you can see that as well. So there you go, guys. That's my little quick tip for today. And thanks for Jane. Thanks to Jane for sending me that Christmas card. It was a great idea for a class. So I hope you like my card, and hopefully I'll be more organized next week. And let me put this out here again just so you guys can see. If you want this paper for free and the 2 items that I used today that equal $50, so you can get that paper pack for free. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. Have a good week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.